Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I am currently doing a video of Newcastle, Indiana. Now, if you go back on my channel, you will see that I've already done other videos of Newcastle, Indiana. I've done Newcastle downtown, and I've done a couple of areas on the older part of Newcastle, Indiana. Now, I don't think on my last set of videos I've done of Newcastle, I don't think I drove down Memorial Parkway, or other words known as Route 3, which basically, that's the road that I'm currently on. I'm on Memorial Parkway / Route 3, which this is basically the business district of the city of Newcastle. Now on this video, I'm going to be driving around some of the better parts of Newcastle. When I say better, I'm going to be driving around some of the more affluent parts of Newcastle, where for the most part the houses are going to be a little newer, the yards are going to be a little bigger, and most likely the houses are not going to be as close in together. Now, I will say I have spent a considerable amount of time here in Newcastle. I've been here several times for several different reasons. And basically Newcastle is not a bad little city to live in. If you're looking for a city that's safe and quiet and low-key, Newcastle would definitely be worth coming to check out. Despite the crazy housing market currently, I will say that the housing prices here in Newcastle are still relatively low compared to many other housing markets. Now, Newcastle, Indiana basically got its name from a community, or a city rather, Newcastle, Kentucky. So apparently there is a Newcastle, Kentucky, which is how this city of Newcastle, Indiana got its name. Now, here in Newcastle, there's quite a few people that live here in Newcastle that are from Kentucky. How ironic is that? Yeah. So, if you're wanting to move to Indiana, and maybe you might be from Kentucky, or you might be from even West Virginia, Newcastle, Indiana, in my opinion, will give you that small town Kentucky / small town West Virginia feel. Here in Newcastle, you basically have a lot of streets that are rather hilly. Now, I was wanting to do this video a little earlier, back when more leaves were on the tree. but I didn't get a chance to due to my work schedule. Now, as you guys can see, we got some snow. I mean, right now, as I record this video, the temperature is 33, 34 degrees, give or take. I'm currently turning down Red River Road. Now, this video I'm going to do is going to be considered the south side of Newcastle. Now, on one of my earlier videos I did in Newcastle, I do recall doing a video to where I considered that part of Newcastle the South End, which I generally thought it was. But later on, I was informed by a native of Newcastle that this area is considered the south side of Newcastle. So if I'm wrong and you're from Newcastle, feel free to leave a comment below so we all know exactly what side of town this is. But I'm pretty sure this is the south end of Newcastle. And another reason why I want to do this video is because on one of the videos I've did of Como, Indiana, I had a commenter basically telling me how great Como was and how a lot of the other communities that I described on that particular video, such as Anderson, Muncie, and Richmond, and I think I may have even mentioned Newcastle on that video, but this particular commenter was talking about how many of these other communities were losing population and Como was gaining population, which of course he would be correct. But I'm doing this particular video because not only do I want to show you guys the other side of Newcastle, now it looks like there's still a little bit of leaves on the tree, so you guys will get to enjoy some fall views. But I'm also doing this video because, once again, for those of you that are in the market to purchase a home, because maybe you want to move here from another state, or maybe you're living, or maybe you could be like myself and you're currently living in a neighborhood that you may not like too well, and you might want to upgrade your neighborhood. I mean, you might want to upgrade your living conditions and move to a better neighborhood. And maybe you're out here looking at certain areas to live, areas that everyone has told you were good places to reside. Like you may have been told, well, okay, well, if you want to move to a decent neighborhood, you're going to have to go to Carmel or Fishers or Noblesville or something of that nature. And then when you get out there and look at houses, or you go on the MLS and look at houses in those areas, you quickly discover how expensive houses in those areas are. And suddenly, your dream of moving to that better community is shot, because you're thinking, I can't afford to live in a better community. I can't afford to pay that $300,000 and $400,000 house mortgage. That's very, and that's what a lot of you are probably thinking. And I just want to show you guys that if you think outside the box and you do as I've been telling you guys to do ever since I first created this channel, which is to drive around and ask the locals questions and do your own due diligence. There's a lot of beautiful communities in some of these cities that are losing population that you can move to where the community will be every bit as quiet, every bit as beautiful, every bit as safe, and at the end of the day, you will be every bit as happy in these communities as you would be in a place like Carmel, Fishers, or Noblesville. Now, here's some general information about Newcastle. I'm not sure I mentioned this on my first set of videos when I did my first set of videos of Newcastle. So just in case I did not mention these facts, I'm going to mention them right now on this video. Now, Newcastle, Indiana has a population of 17,106 people. Now, this city has been losing population at a clip of 4% as of the 2020 census. So from 2010 to 2020, this city has lost 4% of its population. Now, the population density is going to be 2,326 people. Now, the older part of Newcastle, like the older part of many cities, typically that's going to be the area where your houses are going to be closer together and your yards are going to be smaller. Now, the part of Newcastle I'm going to drive you guys through today, the houses are going to be a little bigger. You're going to have bigger yards, and your houses are not going to be as close in together. Now, here in Newcastle, if you're on a budget, you can go to the older part of Newcastle. You can go to the north end of Newcastle, the older end of Newcastle, and there's houses there that you can purchase for $30,000. Which, of course, for that price range will be a fixer-upper. Now, Newcastle was incorporated into a city in 1823, and as I told you a few minutes ago, Newcastle, Indiana was named after Newcastle, Kentucky. Because, I mean, there's a lot of people that live here in Newcastle that are from Kentucky. Like I said, if you come here to Newcastle, and you spend a little bit of time here in Newcastle, Newcastle will remind you a lot of a typical small town in Kentucky or even in West Virginia. Now, of course, here in Indiana, we don't have no mountains. But here in Newcastle, if you come here to Newcastle to visit, you will discover that Newcastle is quite hilly. Newcastle is quite hilly. Now, the people here, for the most part, are relatively nice people. And there are jobs to be had here in Newcastle if you're looking for work. I mean, there's a few factories here in Newcastle that you can apply that are currently hiring as I speak. I forgot to jot down that information, but if you're looking for work, there are jobs here in Newcastle that are currently hiring. And also, just because a city might be losing population doesn't necessarily make that city a bad place to live. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's something wrong with that city. I mean, in many cases, if a city is losing population, okay, what's wrong, what's going on? I mean, there are a lot of cases where, yeah, if a city is losing population, then there's something wrong. But one thing which I've experienced in all the moves that I have made is just because a city might be losing population doesn't necessarily make that city a bad place, or a town a bad place to live. I mean, some like here in Newcastle, like a lot of, like some of the houses you guys saw just now, if you were to buy something like that in Carmel, you would be looking at at least $300,000. At least $300,000. Now, a lot of those kind of houses here in Newcastle, you can buy for closer to $200,000. I mean, I would say when you compare housing prices, I would say for what you would get in a city like Carmel, Fishers, or Noblesville, you can come here to Newcastle and get a property very identical in a community very identical for half that price. And yes, I do mean literally half that price. As you guys can see, there's an abundance of open fields and land that's out here in Newcastle. So for those of you that might be interested in buying just a lot and building your own property and building your own house, you can do that. Now, of course, that's going to cost you a nice penny because land prices are high or at all-time high. But when you compare the cost of living to a place like Carmel, Fishers, or Noblesville, I mean, you can definitely get much more bang for the buck here in Newcastle. So for those of you that may not have a lot of money, but you're looking to upgrade you're looking to move to a better community than the community that you currently reside in, kind of like what I did when I left my old community and moved to my current community. I just want to let you guys know that even in this current housing market, you can still move to a community that you desire to live in and not have to spend an arm and a leg doing it. But here in Newcastle, I mean, you basically have all your you have all your basic amenities. I mean, there is a Walmart here in Newcastle, and plus you have at least most of your chain restaurants. So if you want to go out and grab you a quick bite to eat, or you want to go out to eat somewhere, there are restaurants here in Newcastle. So you do have all your basic amenities here in Newcastle. There are jobs in Newcastle. I'm gonna go down Pleasant View Drive. Here's a good example of what I was talking about a minute ago. Like, if you were to come into a neighborhood like this in Carmel, one of these type of houses would go easily for over $200,000. I'm pretty sure right now here in Newcastle, if you were to find one of these houses for sale in this type of community, you could probably grab up one of these houses for around 100, for around 150. Or maybe, I mean, you can probably grab, I mean, a lot of these houses here, I mean, yeah, some of these houses here at least, you can grab up for probably 125 grand. Now, some of these bigger houses around here, obviously, you're going to pay a little more. I would say for some of these bigger houses, you might be looking at 150. You might be looking at a starting price of 150 for some of these bigger houses. But for some of the smaller houses around here, you can probably grab those up for starting 125. And once again, if anyone knows this area, leave a comment below and let me and let us all know what the prices are for a house around this area. Because at this point, I'm just pulling numbers off the top of my head based on some of my research when it came to looking at houses in this area. I mean, like whenever I'm offline and I'm off work, I have this obsession of going online and looking at real estate. I mean, I love looking at real estate just for the fun of it. I think I may have been down here earlier. Oh well. Yeah, I love looking at real estate just for the fun of it. Alright people, I'm at the half-hour mark. This video is about to end. So, like always, thanks for watching. And subscribe. Leave comments below. Thumbs up. For those of you that are looking to purchase a home and you're looking to possibly move up in terms of the type of community that you desire to reside in, hopefully for you folks, this video helped you realize that you don't have to move to some fancy suburban area where houses are going for damn near $500,000. I mean, if you come into a community like this one, you can buy one of these houses for as little as $125,000. That, of course, will be move-in condition ready.